Hey everybody, welcome back to Day 2 Breakfast with Bob from Clash Miami. My name is Bob Babbitt and we are brought to you by SFuels, HOKA, Master Spas, deboer Wetsuits, Premium Plus Sports, and of course our Challenge Athletes Foundation. Our next guest coming off, I think, a very impressive 2023 season, second at Ironman Florida, won the Challenge Championship, second at 70.3 Lanzarote. In the Elite joins us. How are you?
I'm really good, thanks. How are you?
I am wonderful. So is it coming into a season sort of knowing where you're going to be racing and knowing you're getting compensated for committing? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. I'm in a position where that really benefits me because I haven't been in that position for a few years. So
yes, and
it's pretty good.
And what the whole concept of T100 is so cool because 20 athletes. You're going to be racing the best in the world. It's not like you're dealing with 40, 50, 60 pros, and you're taken care of.
Yeah, it's pretty intense, but because
you're the best in the world are there. It's a world championship every week.
Yeah, exactly. My dad always drives me to the airport when I go to races.
Yes.
And I was talking to him about it, and we were just saying that it's like when I was little, I used to run a lot of cross country.
Yes.
And every week I'd do like a local league race.
Yes.
And so it feels like a league race. It just so happens that the standard is now the best in the world.
That is very cool. And then it was in 2022 that was your first full at Ironman Israel.
Yeah.
And you get, I know you're 6 is not something you're happy about, but what's wrong with that? It's still 9:02 for first time out.
It was a good day out. Yeah. Yes. My attitude going into it was to enjoy the day rather than to try and get the most out of myself. And I enjoyed it so much that I decided to do another one last year. So that was the best outcome.
And then you get second at Ironman Florida.
Yeah.
In your second time out.
Yeah.
And what were the learnings from the first Ironman to the second one that led from sixth place to second place?
There were a lot of learnings in terms of pacing, nutrition, all that kind of thing. But the biggest one was I just prepared a lot better.
Yes.
So I did a lot more focused training for the Ironman rather than just going into it at the end of the season thinking, I'll get through it.
Exactly. So what got you into this silly sport to begin with?
I was a runner and sort of fell out of love with just running, but still wanted to be competitive in sport in some way. So my running coach suggested I gave triathlon a go.
And was this, when you're talking running the track, thinking about?
I came to the US on an athletic scholarship to Iowa State.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I spent 2 years there, and then.
What were your distances?
3K, 5K, cross country.
Okay.
That kind of standard deal.
Yeah.
And I probably just overdid it a bit there.
Stress fractures?
No, I didn't get stress fractures. I just
burnt
out. Illnesses and that kind of thing. So when I got home from university, I was just a bit done with sport in general, and my coach could see that, but didn't want to say to me like, on your way then, like, forget about sport because like you've done it. And he just suggested a different path, which
is pretty cool.
It's really cool.
You know what? Yeah. That really is a mark of a good coach. Rather than just burning you. One of my favorite coaches, his name is Bob Larson. He coached a runner named Mev Keflezighi. And I said, how do you define a good coach? He says, if my athlete is running 10 years after I coach them, then I did a good job.
Yeah.
They learn to love the sport and learn
I
love
completely
endurance.
agree. Yeah. Right. And having the hindsight now and the perspective of being a bit older, and it probably helps that I've done triathlon.
And you've been successful.
I've been successful.
Right.
Yeah. So that probably skews my opinion of it a bit. But yeah, him having the foresight to say, just do something different for a bit.
Might be, maybe you add in a little swim, a little ride, and not having expectations in those sports is always sort of fun too, because it's like, oh God, and everything you do is a win. Yeah,
I suddenly went into this environment where there was no pressure. I had no expectation. I had nothing to compare myself to from previous achievements. So yeah, it was great.
And were you
it was
doing
a good
that
decision.
in the U.S. or were you doing that back in the
No,
UK?
back
You went
in
back
the
in the
UK.
UK. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so 2018, you win Weymouth and defend your title in 19.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the day of that 70.3 in 18. That was your debut at
Yeah,
70.3. So
yeah.
you realized pretty quickly, okay, my future's not going to be at the Olympic format. It's
Yeah.
going to be more little longer distances.
Yeah, well, also being in Great Britain to be successful at the Olympic distance is
Right.
like already a competitive situation.
So, yeah, UK is brutal. And so you tried those in 16 and 17 and then realized, oh, maybe I'll move on somewhere else.
Yeah, a little more
it's about you.
A bit more control over my own program.
Yeah. And if you're not out of the water with everybody, you're done.
Yeah, exactly.
You have the races over pretty quick.
Yeah.
You might as well go back to your hotel.
Yeah, exactly. Completely.
Yeah. And what do you look at? Do you look at that? I mean, when you go to your first 70.3, and you win it.
Yep.
And then you win it again the following year. You're like, okay, I think I made the right decision here.
Yeah.
Did you send a thank you note to your coach?
Yeah, always. Oh yeah, he's still one of my closest friends.
Is he
so
really?
Yeah. See him
and he's
every
probably
week.
so excited to see all the success you've had.
Yeah.
And then over the next number of years, you win in Finland and you win in, I said that in Weymouth, but just very consistent. And now this distance is a little less.
Yeah.
But still sort of in that ballpark.
Yeah.
And you can, if you want to jump into a full, you can, but you don't really need to. The money is good enough where you can stay and focus on this really nice distance that doesn't beat you up that bad.
Yeah, well, it doesn't beat you up in the same way as an Ironman does,
right.
But it's short, fast, intense racing. So
it's different training.
The races are hard. Like they're not easy. Even though an Ironman is long, you're controlling your pace.
Yes.
But over here, it's a lot more explosive, isn't it?
Right. And so when you first made that transition, you started in duathlon, right? The age group.
Oh, well, that's because I didn't fully understand the pathway of getting into triathlon.
It's very cool. What do you look at as the best race you've ever had? And maybe it's not necessarily a 101, but maybe it told you something about yourself.
I think, Challenge Championship last year was quite a big deal for me. I went into it having had a good race at the PTO European Open.
7th, yeah.
In Ibiza. And that was a bit of a breakthrough race for me, I'd say.
Yes.
So to back it up a few weeks later at the Challenge Championships, and I had a bit of a tricky morning of the race.
What happened?
I got into transition and the gears on my bike weren't working.
It's a problem.
Yeah, a huge problem, right? And so I did the whole race on one gear.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but the way I dealt with it and didn't overreact about anything, I just thought, hey, I'll just
Stuff happens.
Stuff happens. Everyone deals with stuff.
Yeah.
And I just got on with the race and it turned out well. I was pretty proud of the way I handled the day rather than the end result.
Panicking and freaking out and the whole bit. Was there a lot of climbing on the course?
There was no. There is a pretty flat course, so that was part of my processing. Was if I could do it on any course on one gear, then
this is the one.
Yeah,
I
just had to get my cassette into the right gear.
Yes.
But then there was one really short, sharp hill on the course, so I thought if I can get up that, I'm fine. And so I got up that, and I thought, okay, yeah, you're fine. Just get on with it now. Stop thinking about it.
You overcame an obstacle. You had an obstacle, and you sort of shoved it out of the way and won the race.
Yeah.
And and you take a lot from that when you have something like that. And so besides the T100s this year, what are you thinking? What would you like to do? Well,
I've qualified for Nice. So that's also on my schedule.
Yeah, it's that's a good course for you. So got a lot of good climbing, and the fact that you're in the UK, you can get over there and train on the course.
Exactly, yeah. It's close to home, and I've always enjoyed the Nice course. I've raced it a few times, 70.3.
Yes.
And I like the city. It's a nice place to be. So to go there for a world championship will be pretty cool.
And a women's only.
Women's only, exactly.
Which is really, really fun.
Yeah.
I felt in Kona last year, the vibe was amazing.
Oh, it was incredible, yeah.
Right?
It was my first time in Kona as well, and I was there only to support friends.
Right.
But, yeah, it was brilliant. It was great that it was all about the women.
All about the women.
And there was absolutely nothing lacking not having the men there. It was
it's funny.
It was great.
I do my Thinking I'm Not Racing party on Friday night, and I'm thinking, oh my God, this is going to be all women on it.
Yeah.
If you have, if you've got a couple thousand women on the island, there's a couple thousand guys.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So
they're not going to miss out on a trip to Hawaii.
No, and I didn't think, besides race day, the vibe was wonderful because every woman got out of the water, right? Not one person. And then women were stopping at aid stations on a bike course, and 93% finish rate, the highest rate in history.
It's brilliant.
Women are stopping on the course to cheer Lucy on.
Yeah.
It was
really cool.
It was such a cool thing. And
really cool.
Being there to watch it, does that make you want to do that thing now?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, completely.
For like the following year?
Yeah, I've said to a few people that I didn't understand the whole Kona thing.
Yes.
Before I went there, I thought, it's just, people just love it because it's Hawaii.
Right.
And then now I completely get it, and I've completely bought into it. And I'm looking forward to racing there.
Oh, it is so different. It's funny because what makes that race special is people talk the heat, the wind, the level of competition.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw it all the best women in the world going.
It's relentless, isn't it?
Yeah. You're like, oh, there's Daniela. Oh, there's Annie. There's Lucy. There's Fenella. I'm like, oh my God.
Exactly.
And UK you'll like this. I was out there in November, and I see this woman running at me, and it's Chrissy Wellington.
Oh, no way.
She's taking a 5-month sabbatical and traveling around the world and wanted to bring her daughter to see where
cool.
Mommy made her legend, right? Yeah. And so she was just out there running a lead drive. Nobody had a clue who it was except this. So we stopped and chatted, but it was wonderful to see her there when it wasn't race time. That is very cool. So full season with T100 and then Nice.
Nice in the middle. Yeah, and then that'll be my year. Maybe Taupo at the end of the year if I can qualify for it. But I need to qualify for that first.
Yeah, and you don't want to take away from anything else. This is really, with Nice.
I think, this T100 is going to be plenty.
Fun. Are you looking forward to Saturday?
Yeah, really looking forward to it. It feels quite early in the year to be starting off.
But everybody
everyone feels the same, and so hopefully we'll just get through it.
Love it. India, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to chat with you.
You
I
too.
can't wait to see you racing in Nice, and then obviously throughout the circuit. It's going to be fun. Have you ridden the race courses before?
I just rode around here this morning in the rain.
Yes.
But
had you raced in one of the, like Daytona I
raced Daytona before, but I haven't raced here.
Yeah, a little different.
It's a bit different. It's fun, though.
So fun.
So fun.
So fun.
Yeah.
And if you break a gear, it doesn't matter. Right?
Well, I don't know. I don't want to go through that again, Bob.
You can do one gear, not a problem.
Sure.
Thank you, India. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
India Leah has been our guest. Everybody, again, Breakfast with Bob, Clash Miami. Hold on. We will be right back.